You are carrying the weight of the world on shoulders that were meant to carry dreams. We agonize over the temporary, forgetting that we are made of stardust. We are more connected than ever, yet we've never felt more alone in our stress. But there is a silence waiting for you, not in a book or an app, but in the sky above. Carl Sagan didn't just study the universe. He used its terrifying scale to offer us a beautiful mercy. Let's find out how the stars can teach you to breathe again. The hook, the trap of complexity. Module 1, the illusion of knowledge. The quote, "The first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the person who is the easiest to fool." Think about the last time you said, "I get it," just to avoid looking stupid. We do it at work, in our relationships, and, most dangerously, with ourselves. We tell ourselves we're too busy to work out, when the truth is, we're just scared of failing. Feynman's first rule is a punch to the gut. Stop lying to yourself. Growth starts the moment you admit you're lost. When you stop pretending to know, you finally give yourself permission to learn. But once you've stopped fooling yourself, how do you actually start building real knowledge? Module 2, the power of simplicity. The quote, "If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it." We often hide behind big words to mask our lack of depth. If your goals for the year are wrapped in corporate jargon or vague manifestations, you'll never reach them. Feynman believed that complexity is often a mask for confusion. If you can't explain your current life problem or your career goals to a child, you don't have a plan. You have a daydream. Strip away the fluff. What is the one simple truth you're ignoring? The transition. Simplicity requires a specific type of courage. The courage to ask, why? Module 3, the "I don't know" mindset. The quote, "I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned." We are obsessed with being right. We want the perfect career path, the perfect partner, the perfect routine. This need for certainty is an anchor. It keeps us stuck. Feynman embraced the unknown. He found peace in the mystery. Imagine how much stress would evaporate if you traded your need for the answer for the curiosity of a better question. It's okay not to have it all figured out. In fact, it's the only way to stay alive to the world. The transition. When you embrace the unknown, you realize that the world is much more interesting than your worries. Module 4, the joy of discovery. The quote, "The prize is in the pleasure of finding the thing out, the glory in the discovery." We've become a society of finishers who hate the doing. We want the body without the workout, the business without the late nights. Feynman didn't work on the Manhattan Project or win a Nobel Prize for the trophy. He did it for the itch of a puzzle. If you're burnt out, it's likely because you've disconnected the effort from the joy. Find the play in your work again. The prize isn't the destination. It's the fact that you were capable of making the trip. The transition. But to find that joy, you have to stop caring about what the crowd thinks of you. Module 5, disregarding opinions. The quote, "You have no responsibility to live up to what other people think you ought to accomplish." How much of your to-do list belongs to someone else? Your parents' expectations? Your boss's insecurities? Your followers' perceptions? Feynman was famous for being irresponsible toward others' expectations. He knew that to contribute something real to the world, he had to be true to his own curiosity. You don't owe anyone a successful life by their definition. Your only real responsibility is to the truth of your own potential. The transition. So, how do we apply this radical honesty to our daily lives right now? Module 6. Active Learning, the Feynman Technique. The quote, "Learn by doing." I learned very early the difference between knowing the name of something and knowing something. You can read 1,000 books on Stoicism or productivity, but until you apply them to a messy, real-world problem, you know nothing. You only know the names of the concepts. Feynman's genius was in the doing. If you want to master your life, stop being a spectator. Teach what you learn. Test your theories. Fall on your face. Real knowledge is earned in the arena, not the library. The transition. This brings us to the ultimate realization about our place in this complex world. Module 7. The Beauty of Reality. The quote, "I have a friend who's an artist. He says, 'I, as an artist, can see how beautiful this is, but you, as a scientist, take it all apart and it becomes a dull thing.' And I think that he's kind of nutty. Understanding how something works doesn't steal its magic. It adds to it. When you understand your stress, your biology, and the why behind your patterns, life doesn't become dull. It becomes a masterpiece you can actually participate in. Don't fear the deep dive into your own mind. Like Feynman, look at the parts of your life not with judgment, but with awe. Closing. The simple life. Richard Feynman was a man of logic, but he lived with the heart of a poet. He showed us that radical honesty isn't about being cynical. It's about being clear. Clear about what you know, clear about what you don't, and clear about what actually matters. Tonight, before you sleep, take one thing you're stressed about and strip it down. No jargon, no excuses, just the simple truth.